Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Casual Sports Podcast. I'm Matt Morrison here with Mike Wolfgang today. Mike, how we doing today?
Pretty good.
I'm
Are you?
exhausted.
You're tired.
I've been up since 4 a.m., man.
What'd you do today at the
I just had
store?
to work today. I had work 6 to 1, but I just wake up.
What'd they have you
But
doing today?
just more of the same thing. Just meat department, cutting meat and packaging it.
Slaving away,
So,
making money.
heck yeah, we're making money.
That's it.
We'll be starting the Scrappers June 2nd, so
Mm-hmm.
that'll be fun. That'll
Yep.
be every day. That'll be an everyday thing, so that'll be fun to do.
Yep.
But let's talk about some sports, I guess.
Yeah, you could.
Let's start out. Let's start out with NASCAR because
Fill
I
me in
don't
because
know.
I didn't watch a second of it this weekend. So
So my dad watched it, and I went out, and I was in bed by 9:30, so I didn't watch any of it. But so Ryan Blaney won the race. Ryan Blaney won at Texas, and they showed your cowgirl cheerleaders there too, or her cowboy cheerleaders
nice.
there too. So yeah, yeah. But
The Cowboys are everywhere.
oh yeah, but so here's the thing. All right, so now you know NASCAR enough to know that if there is a wreck or anything like that on the final lap, there is no caution flag at
Mm-hmm.
all. They let it go. They let it go. That's it. So literally a few feet or so before Brian Blaney crossed the finish line to win the race, caution flag came out because Ricky Stenhouse Jr. hit the wall. So they threw the caution flag. So that was mistake number one, following the rules. Now, how about this? Ryan Blaney, thinking that the race is over and that he won, takes his car net down. And it's like, all right, I won. No, you have to go back and restart. They should have black flagged him, made him go into the pit and reset it. But he wouldn't have won. So I think they looked at it morally instead of like actually following the rules.
Mm-hmm.
Denny Hamlin was furious about it because not more because he lost, more because like they didn't follow the rules and what something bad would have happened. You know, Ryan Blaney, like they almost crashed coming out of that restart, and his net was down or loose or whatever. That's not good at all. So like NASCAR needs to follow the rules. Like I wanted Ryan Blaney to win. They shouldn't have waived the caution in the first place. That should have been it. And it wasn't even a real wreck. Stenhouse scraped the wall.
A lot of these sports need to start following the rules.
Yeah, just follow the rules. Like
Follow
I
the
don't
rules that
get
you
it.
put in place. I mean,
Yeah, they put them in place. They're the ones that put them in place. They gotta follow them. I bet you the flag guy got fired.
oh for sure, he probably got killed. Not, I
Oh,
mean,
what?
not literally,
Whoa,
but
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I mean by people getting all ticked off at him.
Yeah. I know what you're at. But 1 second. But that's all I got for NASCAR. At least Blaney finally won a race.
Yeah.
He happens to win the race that is not even a points race. You just won $1 million in bragging rights.
It's money he
Still
didn't
another
have.
win.
Yeah.
But all right, now we're gonna move into golf. Actually, PGA Championship wrapped up yesterday. It took Justin Thomas versus Zalatoris into like a sudden death playoff round, and Justin Thomas ended up pulling out and winning it. First major since 2017. A lot of people said he was going to be a one major wonder. Like a lot of them, a bunch of them are. Of course, Tiger isn't. He has 15. So,
Yeah,
but
well, he's different.
he's different. But good job, Justin Thomas, yesterday. He was wrapping that up. Totally forgot last year that Phil Mickelson won it last year. I didn't even know about that until I looked at it. Tiger Woods did horribly. Probably played the worst round of golf he ever did. He finished like plus 12. It was bad. He withdrew. He withdrew after the second day.
Well, I think you're going to start seeing that with him because they showed before this tournament started, before the middle of the week last week, he was walking around the course, Matt. He was limping around. He didn't seem good.
He didn't. It was cold. It was rainy. His back's probably hurting. His knees are probably hurting.
He had probably a joint pain. I think you're going to keep getting this with him, where he's just going to try to get through some of these tournaments and just to get through it. And that's not what we saw with him when he was in his prime and when, just Tiger at all, because he's not. He doesn't just play things just to get through them. He wants to beat everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that might. That's
even
not
that last
right
one
now.
in 2019, after he won that Masters, I bet you he just felt like crap physically. He probably took like an Epsom salt bath or something. I mean, that would be. But, by far, I think he's the GOAT. Like, I think he's the best of all time. Like, yeah, okay, you can throw Jack Nicklaus in there. You can throw Arnold Palmer in there. But, Jack Nicklaus, yes, he has 6 Masters where, Tiger only has 5. But look at the, look how it went. Tiger went through a lot of back problems, a lot of physical problems, and he came back and won 1 more. And then the fact that he's still playing, like, a year and a half after he almost died in a car accident is still like, wow. So, like, in my book, he's 100% the number 1 golfer in my book. I'd even put Fred Couples over Arnold Palmer.
You can go any ways with it, really.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to keep getting that part. And I think not for the reasons that we all know how serious it was with Tiger, but you're going to get to that part where it's just going to keep coming up where people are just going to keep talking about this when he's golfing, because it was so great to even see him in the Masters, to even come back and give that a shot. And he's just going to keep giving these tournaments a shot. And I think if people, number one, is big for golf, Matt, because everybody knows Tiger Woods. It's just the name part of it. Everybody knows him. Just having him out there matters to golf.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to keep having that part of it where it's just enough to see him out there, whether he's going to be winning or not, whether he's going to be playing well or not. Because since this tour started, Matt, he hasn't really played well at all.
No.
I mean, we've seen him physically. He's just not the same. So that part of it's we're probably not going to see the level that he was at ever again. But as long as golf can keep having him out there, that's big for them.
Oh, sure. And Jack Nicklaus has 18, where I believe Tiger has 15, 16. Which, the stat sheet, it shows that he's better. But, I mean, you don't know what Nicklaus was going through. I mean, you don't know what Tiger was going through. A lot of stuff. A lot of personal, physical stuff.
Yeah.
And, the whole thing with his wife and stuff like that, like, that's in there, too. I mean, with all this crap on his shoulders, and he's still went out and won.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I bet you he'll sneak another one out here too. I bet you he'll sneak one more major. There's 4 majors.
That's just going to add to it, man. That's just going to add to his resume and his legacy.
Yeah. There's the Masters, which what already happened. The PGA Championship, what just happened. Now you got the U.S. Open and the Open Championship. I think the
best one is. I think the best one that he has a chance of winning again. As
probably,
from now, probably the Masters.
Probably.
Because it's the same course all the time. He knows it. He's won there before. I mean, he's won a lot of other places, but he knows that one. So I'd probably say the Masters.
Well, he's won that one. I mean, I think he's won that one more than everybody.
A couple times.
Not a couple times. More like 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
The guy is 46 years old too. So let's see. But yeah, I'd be withdrawing too if I had that round he had. Yeah. He had some putts were like, all right, that's like he showed flashes still. Like he made a long putt. I'm like, wow, like that's just a flash of what he used to be. Like throw this guy back, throw Tiger Woods from 2001. Nobody's beating him.
Yeah.
Nobody.
No.
Nobody. Yeah, but he's won the Masters more than any other. He's won it more than the PGA and the Open and the Championship, or the Open and the Open Championship. So yeah, I'd throw that in there. He's something. I still think he's the best. I don't care. Jack Nicklaus.
You're not wrong.
but I mean, yeah. But all right, let's go ahead. Let's move. Let's go. Want to go basketball or hockey? I haven't even.
You haven't been on in a while. You pick.
I don't know. Let's go basketball because I want to talk about this. So, our own Alec Cabrera was up here about a week ago.
He's got some explaining to do.
Was up here about a week ago saying, hey, the Mavs in 5. And I'm like, how's that going now, man? Mavs are about to be swept by the Golden State Warriors. Now, I know we won't go off on him too much because he's not on here. We'd rather him be on here.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't going off on him. We were just both giving each other our own reasons.
Yeah.
It's a sports talk. It's a classic it's an argument.
Yeah. But
he's got some explaining to do. I know that.
He does. He does. Because they're about to get swept out. I knew this was going to happen. You did too. So, but that series is pretty much wrapped up. I mean, Luka's still one heck of a player. But, I mean...
Well, did you watch any of this game last night or not?
No, I did not.
I watched, I didn't see the beginning, but I saw, second and third, part of the fourth, and then Golden State pulled away, like they always do.
Yeah.
And this is just why... I'm going to use some of Alex's usual arguments, like when he talks football or basketball. The third quarter he always talks about is the most important. That is what Golden State has been good at for the last 10 years.
Oh, yeah.
And this is why, that's one of the main, long list of reasons why when I was talking about the series, why I picked Golden State. They're a great third quarter team. They're a great team overall.
Too.
But
Pretty sure I picked them in the sweep.
Okay, here's another example. I forgot to even use this one in my argument too. So adds to my list again. 26 straight playoff series they've had, Matt, where they've won a road game. They play just as well on the road as they do at home. It is hard to beat this team in a 7-game series when they're healthy, and this is why I picked them.
They're healthy.
We know this. Seeing them in the finals against our teams.
So look at them now.
We saw them for 4 straight years beat our team, other than 1 year. You could say everybody could say we had to come back, whatever. They should have won that one, whatever. Four straight years in the finals, we saw this at home. They come to Cleveland, they beat us in Cleveland. They just demoralize you. They're just like Michael Jordan. They point right at you and say I'm gonna beat you. Yeah, and they scare the heck out of you.
I'm kind of behind them now. I kind of
am too, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not the same. They're just a bunch of old dogs. Well, I mean, they got some good.
They're really not that old.
I'm just talking about the main 3. I'm talking about
they've been there. Steph's getting older, but Clay's not that old.
Steph and Thompson. Thompson's been taking it more inside. He drives the lane too, and he hasn't played in 2 years. I thought he'd just be shooting, but he's driving the paint. Then,
Steph's 34. That's not that bad.
No.
Well, I mean, that's in NBA. I guess that's getting old, but
yeah.
Clay is
he's 32, 33.
32, yeah.
Okay. How old is Steph?
34.
Oh, wow. He's getting there a little bit.
And, I mean, yeah, so they're all early to mid-30s, but still, that's not that bad. And the way that they're still playing, and I just heard you say that Clay's been driving the ball. He's been pretty good at that throughout his career.
Yeah.
But he's doing it a lot in this series because the Mavericks have 0 rim protection. And this is why I was kind of confused and I'll talk more about the stock when he's on, but when he was, saying, and I thought, I picked Golden State to win this in 6. I thought Dallas can get a game or 2, but I think they're getting swept tomorrow night.
They're getting swept.
Maybe if they come out, because last night they got, between Reggie Bullock and Maxi Kleber, they were 0 for 15 from 3. That's not going to get it done. And I tried saying this. You weren't on these times when we were talking about the series. But,
no.
And I even tried to tell my one friend he's a Mavericks fan too. And I'm not trying to bash the Mavericks. You guys know I support them. But it's just when you're counting on guys like Reggie Bullock and Kleber and some other guys, they're not going to step up all the time. It can't be Luka and hit or miss with Dinwiddie, and you know what you're going to get with Brunson. But they just have too many question marks.
You know what this Mavericks team reminds me of?
They have 0 size inside too.
No, they don't. You remember what this Mavericks team reminds me of? You remember what was that, 4 or 5 years ago, where that hot Portland Trailblazers team came in with their one-man star and Damian Lillard. I mean, yeah, they had McCollum too, but Lillard was getting.
Was it the year they played Golden State in conference finals?
Then they got swept.
Yeah.
So this is the same thing.
I think that was last year Golden State was in this position because then they had the injuries and
Yeah.
COVID
Well, I think
stuff.
there was that. This was the year they
played Toronto.
Was it the year they played Toronto?
Yeah.
Okay, that is true. Yeah, I remember that. But let's jump tonight's game. I've been watching more of this series, more with Miami Heat, the Miami Heat and Boston. Miami's up 2-1. Man, they held on to that. The other a couple of nights ago, Jimmy Butler was out the whole second half, and he's day to day right now. I don't know. I'm looking at the injury report right now. Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, and PJ Tucker are on it. Now, obviously, they're probably not going to miss it.
Most of them are going to play.
I mean, Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and Jason Tatum are on there for Boston, too. That's the main two questions. Will Jimmy Butler play, and will Jason Tatum play? Tatum went down late. Butler, I think, only had something like a knee inflation.
Most of these guys are going to play. Jimmy Butler's going to play.
Oh, yeah.
And what's wrong with Lowry now? Does he still have that?
What's that?
Lowry still has a hamstring thing, but I still imagine he's going to play. I hope most of these guys are going to play.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
I think
now, Alec was on the Boston side here. Do you think I'm still rolling with Miami.
Oh, it's still early in this series. I think it's gonna go longer.
We're gonna really find out tonight. If Miami can get that 3-1 lead, and then what? They're back in Miami tonight, aren't they? Yeah, they're back in
game
Miami.
4. Yeah, Boston still.
Oh, it's still in Boston.
Yeah, it's game 4.
So if they win tonight, if they win both road games, oh man, then you go back to Miami.
Yeah,
that's bad.
That's
bad.
Beside the injury part of it, I think you saw in game 1 and 3 when Miami had big leads and Boston was trying to get back into it. They turned the ball over too much.
Yeah.
Between Tatum and Brown, and those are two best players. You can't have that. And
yeah.
I think every time they were trying to come back, there was some couple turnovers. I mean, in the game 1, they were trying to come back. Jimmy Butler had back-to-back steals. The other night, I know Max Strus hit a couple big threes to keep Miami in the lead.
Max Strus went off to keep them alive.
Because I saw it, they were up huge. I didn't really watch this game, I saw parts of it, but they were up big and they were
up by like 26 at one point.
And they only won by like what, 6? 109, 10.
103, 109.
Is that what it was?
Yep. But I mean, PJ Tucker had 17 points. How about Bam? How about Bam Adebayo? Mm-hmm. This is a guy that needed to do something. They needed to get in, and I was saying a week ago that really all they have is Bam to get down inside, and he can't do it all. Well, he is. Bam is the reason they won this last game. And
a lot of people that I was looking around before the series started, he was an X factor for a lot of people because Boston was considered to be the bigger team down inside with Horford and Robert Williams. I know he's been like in and out, but and I think Daniel Tice coming off the bench too, who's not a huge guy. Me and Alec were talking about it. He's 6'8". That's not huge for a big guy.
No.
So, but they have a lot more size down low, and I think that was. But Bam stepped up.
He scored 31 points. I would say so. He had 6 assists too. So and 3. He also had 4 steals and 1 block.
And I think a big thing with him too, compared to some of Boston's bigs, he can bring the ball up the court. He's been doing a lot in this series. That's where he gets some of his points at. I think he's more athletic than their guys, but they're considered to be deeper.
Yeah, but the big question is, Jaylen Brown went off. Jaylen Brown had a 40-point game, so they're gonna have to keep him in. When Marcus Smart came back, that's when they really started making that run again. So they need
what the heck is going on there in Boston?
They definitely need Smart and Brown. I think they could probably get away without having Tatum, but they need him too. So he played 41 minutes, only scored 10 points.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown played 42 minutes and scored 40. So Tatum really wasn't having the best night. He was 1 for 7 from 3 and 3 for 14 from the field goal. So he wasn't having the best night. Jimmy Butler only played 20 minutes and scored almost what?
Well, he missed the whole second half, right?
He missed the whole second half, and he played 20 minutes and scored 8 points. So Jason Tatum played 21 more minutes and only scored 3 more points? 2 more points.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something right there. I think with Jimmy Butler, this game would have really been a blowout now. It would have been a blowout.
What the heck was going on there in Boston where it seemed like everybody was hurt? Everybody was dropping like flies. Each team had like 4 injuries.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
Like, I don't know. It just seemed like everybody's getting hurt.
They have good physical trainers, though. I'll tell you that, because Marcus Smart needed help off the court, and then 5 minutes later, he's running around in the back.
Same with Tatum.
Yeah, same with Tatum. Yeah. We'll see. If Jimmy Butler can't go the whole way. I tell you what, Oladipo's got to step up a little bit more, and so does Tyler Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the 2 guys.
I think tonight,
Oladipo had 4 steals, so he's a good defender. So
I think that adds to, like I was saying, how with Boston that they do kind of turn it over a lot, but I think half of that you can credit to Miami's defense. Because, like, Oladipo, you just mentioned he's getting his hand there, stealing some balls away. I mean, they overplay the passing lanes. That's just good defense.
Yeah.
I mean, stupid turnovers like, overthrowing a pass or throwing it out of bounds or something like that. That's bad. But, like, obviously you got to take better care of the ball. But Miami plays good defense. We knew this coming in. Both of these teams play good defense.
They sure do. Defense is the name of the game.
Yeah.
Alec likes to try to do the whole offensive thing, but you need to play defense too. You need to play defense, score and play defense.
Mm-hmm.
So the main thing is both. I don't think there's one main thing. You have to score and you have to play defense. You can't do it without. It's like I'll use this as an example. It's like going to broadcast a game for YSN. All the equipment you have that I have to set up, I cannot leave one piece of that behind to do the broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get away with not having one thing. If I miss one thing, I won't be able to do it. So that's the same thing in a basketball game. You have to have defense and offense.
And coaching.
And coach.
And an organized system in your organization.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too off track here.
Yeah.
But this is why Boston does too, but this is why I've been talking about in the playoffs, the culture at Miami has. We all know the Heat culture. They all talk about it. It goes from top to bottom. This is what you have to do to have a good organization. You have to have a good owner who's invested. You have to have, presidents, whoever you have up at the top of the organization, you have to, from that to your GM, to your coach, to your coaching staff, to your players, you have to have everybody on the same page. And I think you see this a lot in teams, and I'll use the example of the Lakers because it's an easy example to use. They have no organization within their organization. They just
have a bunch of high-priced players.
Well, they just have people there that are just there because they know people.
Yeah.
Like Jeannie Buss owns the team, and they have Kurt Rambis in the organization. Like, what has he done to be there? Nothing. You have to have people that know what they're doing, people that are experienced with what they're doing, and you got to have a system and a culture in place that everybody follows. That's what Miami has, and Boston has it too. But in all 4 of these teams, to get to this point in the conference finals, all 4 of these teams, you got to have that. But it just seems like Miami's on a different part with that. I think Boston's going to win tonight, though. If we're going back to tonight's game, I think I'm going to pick Boston to win tonight because I don't see them dropping 2 at home in Boston, and I think both teams are banged up, but I think Boston's a little bit slightly healthier than Miami.
Yeah, that could very well happen. I'm going to go Miami still, though. I think that they have everybody, even if Butler's not even like 75%. If he's 50%, he can still go.
Mm.
So if they miss, but if one of them can't play, then yeah, probably Boston, because they need Jimmy Butler. They do. And Boston technically really doesn't need Tatum. If you have Smart and Brown in there, that's good. And good old Al Horford can put up some buckets too. He had 20 points in the last game. So, they could probably get it done without Tatum.
And I think,
Or if they didn't have Smart, but they had Brown and Tatum. Same thing. They can be without one of them.
Maybe to win a game, but they can't win a series that way.
Not to win a series, though.
But this series has been weird so far because I know it wasn't really a blowout in game 1, but it felt like it. Like Miami came out in the third quarter and punched them in the mouth.
Yeah, it did.
Boston comes back, blows them out in game 2, and I know they came back in game 3, but it
They
was pretty
came
much a
back, but
blowout for a good part of it.
they ran out of steam at the end. They
Yeah.
really did. They were exhausted.
This series has been a series of blowouts so far.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's it. Let's go ahead and move out of basketball. Let's move into hockey for the last half an hour. We'll try and think of something to talk about.
We got a lot. We got baseball. We got hockey.
We got baseball too.
I'm sure some NFL news we could talk about.
But let's check.
Well, there's 3 games yesterday of hockey.
Yep, 3 games yesterday. It's loading. So the Lightning beat the Panthers are just overrated.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think it's more that they're overrated, or do you think it's that Tampa's just better?
I think it's a little bit of a both. I think.
What do you like lean more towards? Like 60-70% that they're overrated, or
probably honest, probably like 70-30. Tampa Bay is better, and they're 30% they're overrated. And I mean, I think they're underprepared. I think they came in like, oh yeah, all right, and then they don't know who the heck they're playing, and that's Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I think though it's hard to sweep a team in hockey.
Yeah.
Like I keep saying this the last couple weeks since the playoffs started in both sports. It's never easy to sweep any team in any sport, but in basketball you pretty much do know who's
the
going to
Nashville
win.
Predators.
Yeah, or the Rangers when they're playing the Penguins. But I had to get that in there.
We don't have to talk about that, okay?
All my teams stink. Okay, I gotta have fun with it.
But that's my team too.
I know. Well, they stink. They don't stink. They don't stink.
But yeah, they stink in the playoffs.
Yeah, but anyway, I keep saying, I've said this a few times. You pretty much do know in basketball who you think's gonna win. You occasionally get an upset, like we just had Dallas beat Phoenix, but most of the time you know who's gonna win. It's hard to sweep a team in hockey. We can come out and say Tampa's gonna sweep them. Game 4 tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
You can come out and say Tampa's gonna sweep them, but it's hard in hockey. Same with baseball. In hockey, you have an off shooting night. You can't. You don't control the puck most of the game. The other team controls it most of the game. It's hard to sweep a team in hockey. I wouldn't be surprised. I know I was talking with Alec. I think it was Thursday last week. It was maybe one game into the series or something like that. Oh yeah, it was one game and we were going into game 2. And I was like, I wouldn't honestly be surprised if it's ended in a sweep. Because I feel like it was, we kind of got fooled with Tampa in the first round because they were playing Toronto. It was a tough matchup. We all talked about that.
Yeah.
And I think it was a little bit tough for Florida too, but there was a really good. I wouldn't have been surprised if Washington would have beat them in that series because the way they played. They just didn't look good. And I was like, coming into this, I was like, Tampa, they had that challenge in the first round. That might have woke them up. And it seems like it has so far.
I think it definitely has. I know all year I've been saying, like, I'm still sticking with it, that I don't think they're going to go back. It's either going to be Carolina or the Rangers. And let's jump into that. Rangers finally won last night 3-1. They needed to do something. They couldn't fall down 3-0. I mean, yeah, I know they just came back from 3-1, but, I mean, do that back-to-back times?
Mm-hmm.
Come on. So,
but they play good. They play good when they're under pressure and
they do.
Trailing. We saw that all 3 of those games they came back against.
Yeah, they do. They play great under pressure. So Chris Kreider had a goal. So I mean, that dude is just a menace, and everybody is. I don't like any of them, but I mean Truba's a menace.
There's a reason not like him.
Zibanejad.
Yeah.
Oh. He got 2 on us, Mike.
I know. We're just not over it yet. I know. I'm not either. I'm not trying to take anything against the Rangers, but watching them, maybe it's just because Carolina is better than them. I think. I know you think that too.
I think Carolina will win the next 2 games, and that'll be it.
But watching this, it's kind of like, how did we lose?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I'm not saying New York stinks. I'm just saying they didn't wow us away that they were so much better. It's like we had them, but oh well. Well, we got to talk about this now. But I think I picked Carolina in 6, maybe. I'm going to stand by that.
Carolina would get. They
could. To me, they could possibly represent the side of the bracket in the finals.
Oh yeah,
they're a good possibility.
I've said this all year. A team from the Metro is going to be in the Cup. Period. I'm still
You
sticking
have.
with it.
Yeah, you have.
It's going to be
We both said
Carolina
that.
or Rangers. If the Rangers come back and win, I got the Rangers beating the Lightning. Or I got Carolina beating the Lightning. I don't have the Lightning going back.
I kind of do.
I don't.
I like the way they're playing, and they just seem like they're after. Like I said, after they got pushed around a little bit in that first round, it seems like they got woken up, Matt. I'm not like I said. I've said this all year about Tampa. I'm not betting on them winning it all. I'm just saying it's a good. You can't rule it out because
Okay.
I know they won back to back and stuff. I know it's hard to three-peat. We haven't. I don't remember the last time we even saw it in hockey. There was a three-peat, but it's hard. And I've stuck up for them all year, honestly, saying that like that. It's I can't write them out of the question until they actually lose. And it seems like they've woken up right now. And you can't. I keep talking about their big three, Matt. They're playing good.
There hasn't been a three-peat champion in the NHL since the New York Islanders won the Stanley Cup 4 straight times from 1980 to 1983.
The Gretzky years, right? Oh no, he was with the Oilers in the 80s.
No, yeah, he was the Oilers.
Yeah.
Look at this. Even the powerhouse Edmonton Oilers team, who won the Cup 5 times in 7 seasons, could never quite. That ended in 1990. Could never get quite over the hump. They won it 5 out of 7 seasons, but didn't win. I think they lost in between,
Yeah.
But
it's hard.
Since the 80s, early 80s, that's it. That's the last time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not guaranteeing they're going to win, but I think there's a good chance. They're definitely going to finish off the series with Florida. They're not blowing a 3-0 lead.
Oh no!
And I have no confidence in Florida for what they've shown so far. Even going
I
back
think
to the
it's
first
going to
round.
be. I want it to be Carolina versus Edmonton. I'd love to see that.
Mhm.
That'd be a good Stanley Cup. And speaking of Edmonton, they won last night 4-1. Now they're up in the series 2-1. So that's gonna be a tough battle. Flames. This game will go 6-7.
Well, Matt, I
Series.
think I picked it to go long because both teams really struggled in the first round.
Yeah, they did.
Me and Alec were talking about this because you were only on a few days last week, but we
Yeah.
were talking about this series when it started. Number one, people forget that this is a big rivalry in the sport. The Flames and Edmonton. So that's why I was like, every game's going to be fired up in both cities. And I was like, this might actually go 7 because
I remember both of these teams got in a huge fist fight where the goalies even came out and fought each other.
Dude, they showed on SportsCenter
Remember
before the
that?
series started. I think the last time they played in the playoffs was '91. They said, but they showed on SportsCenter before the series started. They showed a whole clip of like different fights throughout the years throughout these teams. They get into it.
Other.
They hate each other.
They do. I like the way McDavid, Kane, and Draisaitl. Those are the guys.
They stepped up.
The guys, man. Woo! Draisaitl, man. He's sick to watch too.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll be watching. I watched a little bit of that game last night, but I mean, it's gonna be something. Whoever it is, if it's Calgary that comes out of this, they're gonna beat Colorado. Colorado won't go back, or won't go at all. I don't think at all.
Wait. Tampa played yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It says they played today too. There's no way.
Monday?
That's got to be wrong.
Wait a minute. Sunday.
Today's Monday.
Yeah. They played yesterday. Today's Monday.
Let me check a different slate. What were you saying though?
Yeah, it looks like they play tonight. And the Avalanche plays the Blues. Let's talk about that. I think the Blues can push them a little bit more. I actually have the Blues winning this. They're back in St. Louis. I think the Blues can get another win here. But I do have the Avalanche winning like 6 games. But St. Louis is a tougher opponent, and it's just going to get tougher and tougher.
I had Colorado in 6.
Yeah. I remember. But
I'll put it this way, Matt.
Lightning's going to sweep tonight. They play tonight, it looks like. They'll sweep tonight.
I don't understand that. They just played yesterday.
I don't know.
I checked ESPN and CBS, and they both say tonight.
Well, they play tonight then.
There are going to be some tired legs out there.
Yeah.
But with Colorado though, I've kind of stuck up for them a little bit with when we talked about them this year. I don't. Again, I'm not betting on anybody to win it all because I know it's hard for any team to do it. But I actually feel like this is their best chance to do it, to go there and win it this year. Because the last couple years they've had struggles in the playoffs. They fell apart. This might be their actually best chance to do it, Matt. Because none of these teams are compared to them, or really to me on their level that are left. There's some tough teams that can challenge people, but I don't know if there's any teams that are as quick as they are and put as many shots on goal as they do. This might be their best chance.
It might be, yeah. It's kind of a down year for all the teams except like Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, because to me, if Tampa gets back there, I really don't want it to be Colorado and Tampa, but if it were to be,
that's what everybody is saying it's gonna be.
If it were to be, that's to me the toughest team Colorado could play. To me, no other team really that's left really scares me if I'm a Colorado Avalanche fan or player. Well, player, yeah, but
I mean, Edmonton would scare me.
They've been too inconsistent, and this is the first time that they've had struggles in their playoffs before. This is really their first time putting a real run together since they had McDavid and that crew.
I don't know.
It's interesting. It is. I want some parity. I don't want it to be Colorado and Tampa. That's too easy.
Interesting. So, I do think the Blues are going to win tonight, though. Let's jump into that.
I do too.
They're going to give them a battle, but I think the Lightning will finish it out tonight too. I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to call a sweep tonight with Tampa, and I'm going to agree with you on both. Did they lose Game 3 at home, St. Louis? Which game did they win? Game 2?
I forget.
Yeah, Game 2 they won. They lost. Or no, wait. Hold on a second. Yeah, Game 2 they won in Colorado. So they showed they could win in Colorado. They lost Game 3 at home. They got to be able to win at home. I think they're going to win tonight at home. Even up the series. But I think after this, it might, at least according to my prediction, I think this might be it. They're going to win tonight. I think Colorado's going to rip off 2 straight to win it.
That's probably, yeah. I think so too.
I agree with you on both tonight.
All right.
I'm still caught off guard about Game 4 tonight. They just played yesterday. You don't see that in the playoffs back-to-backs.
No, you don't.
Somebody's tired.
I'm about to take a nap after the show. I don't care. I'm taking a nap. But let's jump into baseball. Finish it off. We might even finish this off early. Oh, well.
I got nothing to even talk about with my team, so go ahead. They got embarrassed yesterday.
Cleveland plays the Astros tonight at 8:10. Cleveland. Plesac will be on the mound. I like the Plesac Garcia matchup. But what's this? We don't have to talk about our teams per se. We just talk about around the league. But Cleveland hit, the bouncing around a little bit. I mean, they're 17-20. They're 6 games back. Minnesota's still there in first. Chicago's in second. Chicago's a disappointment, though. But
hey, they swept the doubleheader yesterday with the Yankees.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll turn them around.
And what do you think about this? The Yankees are on pace to win 120 games. Do you think they can actually win 120 games? No.
I don't. I think the Dodgers were on pace start a couple years ago. They didn't get there. 120 wins, dude. That's only losing like 40 games.
Yeah.
No way.
They're not going to do it.
There's no way.
Tampa Bay is only like 5 games out.
They're gonna heat up. I think.
Oh yeah. So
they always fly under the radar. They always do.
Here comes the Red Sox too.
They got a long way to go. I still feel. They're still 3 games under. This division's tough. They can't keep. They got to start waking up now because we're almost done with May. We're almost 2 months in now.
Yeah,
they got to wake up here. Because I mean, like you just talked about, Tampa Bay's starting to play better. Blue Jays are playing better. You got the Yankees who are 29-12. Like you said, on pace to 120 games. They got to wake up here.
Yeah, they do.
And I think a big part with the Red Sox, and they really haven't had a lot of depth in their starting rotation the last couple of years, but I think they really don't this year. We keep talking about the additions of Trevor Story and all those guys. Yeah, that's all great, but if you don't have pitching, it's not going to matter.
Trevor Story hit the grand slam over the ball where Johnny Jones caught it. Old
Yeah.
Red Sox Johnny Jones.
Yeah, he was up on the monster.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Johnny Jones played for the
I think they
Durham
were
Bulls.
interviewing him while he caught that, weren't
Yeah. Yeah, they had called him or something.
they? Yeah.
Because that's David Ortiz on the show, I think.
Yeah.
Isn't he on that show? I think
so. Or at least sometimes. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. But let's jump in every division. I mean, Boston's coming around. We were just talking about that. They won 5 in a row, so they're coming back. Boston always does. So I think, they're 10 games out. It's still, we're 2 months in. I like what I'm seeing from them. I like the jump back. I think they're back in where they need to be, and they're just going to keep going from there.
Well, I think you're going to start getting to that point where Alec was talking about where schedules are going to start evening out now. We're about to be in June. You're going to start getting to that point where you're going to know who's contending and who the pretenders are. You're going to start getting where people are going to start figuring out where trade deadline's late in July. You're going to start figuring out who's actually going to sell and buy at trade deadline. That's the best part because you always see these teams that, like, I don't know who you can talk about this year. Let me try to find an example. Like, I don't know. Angels, I guess you could say that. I mean, on paper, they should be good. They should have been good the last couple of years. It seems like this year is really going to be different for them. You know,
they're a game and a half.
They've started out good, but are they going to keep this up? Because they haven't done it the last couple of years.
I hope they do.
I do too.
It's such a disappointment to see them not make the playoffs every year. They should be in the playoffs like every year.
Well, they finally have above average pitching. They haven't had that at all. Like I just said it with the Red Sox. You can bring in. They brought in Anthony Rendon after the Nationals won the World Series. They brought in. I'm forgetting some names. They brought in some other good bats. Well, that's all good, but you can hit the ball all you want. But if you have no pitching, that is the name of the game. I don't care. It always will be. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
You can't pitch. You're not going to win.
Pitching is the name of the game. You can hit home runs all you want. Look at the Yankees. They didn't hit all their home runs last year, but their pitching sucks.
Yeah. Well, now it's pretty good, but it is, Matt. You don't get 29-12 by just not being good at one thing.
There's a couple good pitchers that got, but
Severino's pretty good. Cole's pretty good.
Severino is pretty darn good, but they still have Chad Green. He's horrible.
Yeah, he is pretty bad.
He's bad, man. He's bad. And Garrett Cole has his bad days too.
He does, but he's bad. He's good a lot more than he's bad.
Not, but he lets up a lot of home runs.
He does.
But you would know that. He was a Pirate, wasn't he?
Yeah. And that's a lot of pitchers are plagued by that. So a lot of pitchers are plagued by home run balls a lot more than other ones.
Yeah.
And it just seems like that's a bulk of what the runs he gives up is home run balls. But when he's on, anybody would take him. Because he's like you said, he's on more than he's off.
Let's move to this here. How about Houston? Every year, I can't stand them. I hate them. But
they're a good team.
Year, they're a good team. They're there every year. Like, why did they even have to cheat? Why? I hated them before that. This just made it worse.
Well, you know what the thing is?
Because they'd always beat Cleveland.
But the thing is like when all that thing happened. I don't want to keep bringing this up because we all know that they did it wrong. But
yeah, we're beating a dead horse.
They lose a guy. It seems like the last couple off seasons they've lost a guy, like a significant guy to the roster.
They lost
lose George Springer
and Carlos Correa.
They're
still good.
And they find guys. That's a big difference. And I just talk about this with basketball. You have to have a stable organization. They do. And I know that I know he cheated and stuff, but AJ Hinch, I don't like him for what he did, but he's a good manager. Even before that, they had a good manager. They had a good organization before that. He's with Detroit now.
That's right.
Even when he was there, they still had a good system. They bring in Dusty Baker, Dusty Baker fits in any organization because he's number one, he's a good guy. Number two, he's been around.
He's old and he knows traditional.
And he knows how to play. He knows how to manage a baseball game or a baseball team.
He knows how to play. Well, he did know how to play. But
yeah.
I mean,
but
he was on what? He was on some Dodger World Series teams, I think.
Yeah, back in the day. But you don't just. My point is like you don't just. You got to get to a point in an organization where if you lose guys, and this is kind of what I'm trying to say that I hope the Pirates are trying to do, bringing in all the stockpiling in the minor leagues. That's what the Astros did.
You see that pitcher they got coming
Who?
up to now? Forget his name. I sent a clip
Who?
to chat for Pittsburgh.
They
Forget
called
his
up two
name.
of them
He's from
yesterday. They called up two pitchers yesterday.
All right. There's a guy that has a good knuckleball. I forget his name.
Ronzi Contreras and heck was the other one. He hasn't been up yet. That's why I can't remember his name.
Okay.
But
who's the
what
one?
I'm saying with
Henry Davis. Henry Davis.
he's a catcher they took last year.
Huh?
He's a catcher they took #1 last year.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's gonna be pretty darn good. Which is what? He's in single A still. Or is he
he's in double A because he played all 4 years in college, so he's pretty experienced.
Okay.
Like I wouldn't even be surprised if he starts next year. Even though they just drafted him last year, because he's going to move up pretty quickly. Because that's the thing, college. You play 3-4 years of college, you're not going to be in the minors that long. But what I was saying with the Astros, though, they've gotten to a point where before they won the World Series, Matt, or whatever you want to say, if they cheated or whatever, they did cheat, but they still won it.
They still won, just like Louisville still won.
Yeah,
they vacated that.
But before that, though, I know Altuve was there, but they stunk. Like they were terrible.
They stunk for a while.
Long time. They got to a point where they bring up Correa and Springer and these guys, and they get in a position where if you lose these guys, you have guys behind them to fill it up. That's why I want a team like, and I'm sure Cleveland's going to try to do this too, because they're still kind of competitive right now, but they're not a contender. Yeah, at least what we've seen so far. They're a couple games under 500. They're not. They might sneak in, but they're not a contender like to win it all.
No.
And I think I think all these teams want to get in this position where, hey, we're a small market team. We realize we're going to lose guys. We can't pay guys. We need to have guys in the minor leagues behind them, and not just a couple guys. We need to have multiple guys behind different positions. Where if we lose somebody, we have somebody that's capable to step up. Because we all know in Pittsburgh they don't keep guys, and even Cleveland they really don't either. So you need to have guys behind you that are capable of stepping up.
I mean, they traded everybody away. So.
Yeah. And that's what Houston's done. That's why they're still good. And I got to give them credit. I know, say what you want. They're still a good team, and they find guys to play.
I agree too. Yeah, but that's just a huge surprise for me that they're still hanging around.
I agree. Around. I think that's gonna be a fun top of the division to see.
Worse. That makes the Angels look worse. I think. Like you're supposed to have this all-star studded team with your two boys, Ohtani and Trout, and then you got like the working class, the Houston Astros still there kicking butt, and they traded people
that's
away.
The thing though, is the Astros have a good balance. Angels haven't had that balance in the last couple of years. You can maybe say they have it this year, at least so far, but they haven't had that. You could have Trout and Ohtani, that's fine, but you have to have a team around them, and you have to have a pitching staff and a bullpen.
Yeah,
that's three phases. I know it's pitching and hitting, but that's the three parts. You have to have starters who go deep, hitters that are consistent. You have to have a bullpen that can come in and shut it down. Most nights, you're going to slip up sometimes, but most nights. And I mean, we're talking about the Astros and the Angels. The Astros have had that for the last couple of years.
They had. But all right, let's jump into the National League. Mets are still going wild. I mean, they did win. They're 6-4 in the last 10, so that's significantly worse than what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But Phillies are right there. Atlanta's right there as well, and so are the Marlins. The only team that's kind of slumping around is the Nationals. They're just garbage.
They're bad.
Yeah, but Miami's still there. Atlanta and Philly's still there. One of them's gonna overlap them. They're only 8 back.
Well, I think a good story coming out of this division actually comes from the last place team. Did you see a couple days ago they were talking about that maybe at the end of the year they might look into trading Juan Soto?
Really?
I mean, this team's going nowhere.
No.
I don't know how much. I don't think he's under contract yet because he's only 23, I think. But he's going to want money. I think he has the same age as Bryce Harper, so he's going to want a huge contract. He ain't going to get it there because they stink. The question is, does he want to stay there? That's the real thing. I know he won a World Series there, so he has won there before, but
yeah,
that was a little.
How about, since we're in this division, how about Miami Marlins, man? Jazz Chisholm, that dude is a stud. I like watching him play a lot.
Mm-hmm.
he's one heck of a player. He did have some
He makes it fun.
He did have some tightness in his hamstring, but that shouldn't be too bad. But he's one heck of a player. I like watching him play. Another one, I like the guy from the Mariners, Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
I like watching him play. I call him J-Rod. But
yeah.
he's pretty good as well. And then I think there's some young players I've been keeping an eye on. Hayes is one too. Key Brian Hayes, this is another young star. So you got to keep an eye on these guys here now. I mean, a couple of years ago it was Vladdy. Now look at him. He's like well into his career. I mean, what, four years now?
Mm. Yeah, it's 3 or 4 maybe.
3 or 4 years.
Maybe 3. I don't know. It hasn't been long. For the whole team, really.
Yeah. But that's all I got, really. The Dodgers are still good. The Padres are right there, too. Padres, Dodgers back and back. And, you know, the Giants are floating around back there, too. Reds still stink. Cubs kind of stink. Pittsburgh's, I mean, Cubs
Matt,
and
they
Pittsburgh
stink. Don't get fooled that they're in third place. They're 16 and 24. They're not
tied
a baseball team.
They're tied for
They
third.
stink.
They stink.
They do. And to me, it's not even a point
St.
where...
Louis is coming around.
To me, it's not even a point, though, with Pittsburgh. It's just like, oh, you know, their owner stinks that they don't spend money. Their manager is terrible, Derek Shelton. He's terrible. He can't put a lineup together.
So is Clint Hurdle.
Clint Hurdle, you can say what you want about him. He's better than this guy.
Yeah.
The only thing he was bad at was managing the bullpen. This guy can't do anything. He cannot put a lineup together. He sits. I've told you this before. Their two best players are Reynolds and Hayes, and it seems like every other day they have an off day. Play your best players. Number one, you got to play your best players. Period. Any team.
Yeah.
When you're a stinky team, put your best players out there. You don't have much to sell. You're not getting people in the ballpark. Put your best players out there.
Who'd their manager be?
Anybody. I don't even care. They just hired. I think it's AAA. They just hired Jason Kendall to come back and be a hitting coach. I'd rather have him manager as this guy.
Who?
Jason Kendall was good. Jason Kendall, their catcher back in the early 2000s. You know him if you saw him.
Okay, yeah.
But they hired him as a hitting coach. I'd rather have him than Derek Shelton. This guy has he's never been a manager before. And, you know, I hate the whole analytical stuff. I mean, you even see it with the Dodgers with what's his name? Dave Roberts. They get away with it. They get away with it because they're so good, but he's made a lot of bad mistakes. The Clayton Kershaw thing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But when you can't put a line, again, I know he doesn't have a whole lot to work with. I'll give him that part of it. Since he's been with Pittsburgh, they've had little to no talent. But when you can't put a lineup together, when you don't play your best players, and when they leave, half their best players are still in the minor leagues, that's a problem.
It is.
That's a problem.
That's a huge problem.
Yeah.
But, all right, let's go and wrap this up a little bit. Beast of the week. I don't know.
Who'd you have?
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention too much. How about we can go Justin Thomas. We'll go Justin Thomas, PGA Championship. I mean, he hasn't won anything in 4 or 5 years. Why not? He's a beast of the week.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's going to do it here for the Kansas Sports Podcast. I've been Matt Morrison here with Mike Wolfgang. We'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day.